Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I had computer problems for the past couple of days, so if Bueller, if anybody could let me know what that looks good, sounds good. Looks like nobody's here yet, so I'm talking to the vapors. Hey, I got one person in the comments. Could somebody confirm that looks good, sounds good? I had computer problems. My sound card kind of went kablooey, and I had to fix it. Had to call up my friend Paul. How you doing? Happy New Year's, everybody. I'm going to filibuster for a minute or two until I get a confirmation that everything is okay. But today we're going to look at Justice League of America #1, a terrible comic, a comic that I can't stand, but I feel is important. That's one of the things I do on my channel. And I showcase comics that I like. And I will showcase comics that I do not like if there is a good reason. And the good reason for this is that it's an important piece of comic book history, and I feel it should be talked about, it should be shown, but it's just awful. It's just a bad comic. There's a reason why when Marvel came around just a year or two later, it started blowing up everything. Can anybody comment? Do I look good? Sound good? Hello? Hello? I'm afraid to proceed until oh, let me type something in the comments just in case nobody could hear me. Oh, sounds good. Okay, thank you, Zach10. Thank you, Zach10. I had a panic because not last night, but the night before, my sound card just went berserk. And I couldn't get any sound. And then last night I went on StreamYard. I didn't go live. I just went into StreamYard and I invited people, and nobody could hear me. So I had to call up my friend Paul. We had to figure out a working fix. Okay, and he is of the opinion that this 7-year-old computer is dying, and I need to get a new one. So there you go. That's something that I just don't need to spend another $1,400 on a computer. All right, so Zach10 says we sound good. How's everybody's New Year's? How's everything? I'm waking up. I made some coffee in a different cup. I having some serious gourmet shit, and I messed up the proportions. This is like drinking a cup of candy now. I put in too much sugar. Oh my God, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Anybody doing anything for New Year's? I'm going to my buddy Jimmy's house tonight. It's kind of now our new tradition. We play board games and then we go home. Old people stuff. So let's take a look at this. So this is the Justice League 10 cents Comics Code Authority. It's a little beat up. Spending time with family. That's good. That's good. If you get another computer, my computer guy says I should get an ASIC instead of an HP next time, instead of a Hewlett Packard. I never heard of that. I take it that's a brand. I'm not a computer guy, believe it or not. I am hopeless. I am helpless when it comes to computers. If not for my friend Paul, if you go to my forum, I own Villains and Vigilantes Forum.com, www.villainsandvigilantesforum.com. That is my role-playing forum that you'll see 20 years of stories, that write-ups in on that forum. You'll see that the administrator there is Paul. Paul is my computer guy. I would be lost without him. There would be no channel. There would be no comic without him, because I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff. So I don't know. I'll ask him about an ASIC instead of an HP next time. We usually watch movies. Oh, okay. I forgot about this. I'm sleepy. Sounds good. This is my not my last day of vacation. Spending time with the family. Hey, Grey Wolf, if you get another computer, I should get an ASIC next. Okay. And usually watch longer movies until midnight. What are you going to watch tonight? What are you going to watch? I'm curious about that. What you going to watch? Somebody sent me a message on my phone. Let me. Who's? I think some people just like they see that I go live and then they send me messages just to distract me. Okay, I'm trying to wake up, guys. I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning and then woke up about 15 minutes ago because I've been on vacation for 2 weeks. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? What Geeks Do Network? Hey, John, listening at work. Happy New Year. Oh man, you're at work. What do you do? What do you do? What's your job? Happy New Year to you. Okay, so this is not the same copy that I had as a kid, but my friend Scott lived about 3 houses down the road from me, and they had this box of comics that they kept in a metal box. And I remember they had a basement. All the houses on my block were the same model house, but their basement wasn't finished, and it was like creepy dungeon basement. And they had a back room that my house didn't have, and it was kind of creepy. And all the way in the back, there was a metal box in this musky basement filled with comics, and they were old comics. And I wonder about that box of comics because Scott's dad still lives in that house. I would love to go down there and see if that's a pile of, and what this was one of them. And we used to just take them out and read them. I had no idea the value of this comic. I had no idea. We were just stupid little kids. I think one of them was the first appearance of Iron Man. And we would just read these comics over and over and over again. And so when I saw a copy of this, I had to buy it as an adult because I was like, oh, wow, oh my God, that was Justice League #1. I didn't even realize until I was an adult what I had. Management at a grocery store. I wrote a story, a script that I sent to Tonic Mole, and the main character, Eddie, Eddie Pagano, he's a manager of a grocery store. Let's see if that comic ever comes out. I'm not sure what we'll watch that. We have in times past watched 10th Kingdom because it's long, but that's the Crusades, right? That's with what's his name? Ed Norton. Yeah, I've seen that. It was a good movie. So without further ado, I was stalling until we got some views. We got some viewers now. So Justice League of America. This is the first appearance of Despero, and they're playing chess, death chess. Pretty interesting cover. And you can understand I'm being very, very careful. Okay, so we got the treasure chest of fun. I don't know how much I'll be picking this up and moving this around, so forgive me. And we got this splash page. So I'll probably be moving this rather than we got this indicia down here. Can you see that? 1960. So in just 2 more years, or maybe 1 more year, the Fantastic Four debuts. And just read Fantastic Four #1 right after this, and you'll see why Marvel just kicked ass. This I do like. I love the roll call. In order of their appearance, we got the Flash, Wonder Woman, John Jones, Green Lantern, Superman, Batman, Aquaman. And we got this guy. This design I always liked. I always thought he was cool. Despero, the 3 eyes and that, what do they call that? A gill, a fin. Good morning, Lacey. Happy New Year to you too. Good morning to you and to Abrax. Hope you have a good New Year's. Hey, Allison. Hey, watching today. Do I know Scott? Doesn't sound familiar. Do I know Scott? Oh, Scott Stecker. Oh, I didn't realize you. Yeah, Scott Stecker. He lived. I don't think you ever met Scott Stecker. He lived three houses down from me. If you look it up, my house. Why is Allison asking me? Allison and I have been friends since 3rd grade. Her husband is Pete Roberti, who's been on my channel a few times, and we just been childhood friends. But I don't think you ever met Scott. Scott was a public school kid. Me and Allison went to Catholic school together. And he went and joined the Air Force. The guy, all he ever wanted to do was be a pilot. Poor Scott, his little Scott story. Yeah, all he ever wanted to do was be in the Air Force, and he joined the Air Force. His mother was his grandfather, I think, was a general, and in the Air Force, I think, or a colonel or a general, or something like that. Big military guy. And Scott's mother was very strict, very like, you're going to be in the military. You're going to be in the military. So he joins the military. He wants to be a pilot. Comes home on a what do they call that? Just a furlough or whatever, and visits the family, and goes out with a bunch of friends, and he gets hit by a drunk driver, busts up his body bad to the point where he never got to be a pilot, and the military actually sued the drunk driver for because he was going through all of this training and everything like that. Just ruined everything. Just ruined his he just wanted to fly. So he last I saw, he had a falling out with his mom because she wanted him to pursue a military career like her father, and he wanted to open up a restaurant. So that was the last I saw. Loved the ring gag. Oh, Flash is good morning and happy New Year. Good morning to you. Just call me saying, how you doing? And Marcus, how you doing, Marcus? How's everything? Yes, Allison, it's a terrible story. I don't think you ever met Scott. Good looking, blonde kid, muscular kid, good guy. I always like Scott. Yeah, I know. Sad story. Yeah. So this is Barry Allen, the Flash, driving around doing his Barry Allen nonsense. And what does he see? He sees over here, he sees two people that look like the Joker. Why do they look like the Joker? Because they got this hair and everything like that. So he pulls out the what happens is he drives through a bluish glow. Why is he driving? Plot. That's why. He's driving out in the middle of nowhere. There's a bluish glow. He drives through it. His car stalls. Nothing's working, which is a little mistake because this isn't working. And they pointed out later that shouldn't have worked. But for those of you who don't know, the original Barry Allen the Flash had this ring. And this costume was made out of basically unstable molecules like they do in Marvel Comics, but they never really said it. And his costume is super compressed like a gas. He pushes the ring and the costume shoots out, and at super speed he changes. So it's just one of those comic book things that's ridiculous but amazing at the same time. So now he runs over and he sees these two aliens. These two aliens explain that they're escaping Jason R and from the planet Kalinar. And what happens? Their planet is being taken over by Despero. And Despero is this horrible despot. So he is going to activate his Justice League signal. And here we got Wonder Woman, who's saving the Statue of Liberty from lightning bolts. So she's literally on the wing of the invisible jet. She's taking the golden lasso and swatting away lightning bolts from hitting the Statue of Liberty. Over here, we got John Jones, who's stopping bank robberies, and they're shooting at him, and the bullets are bouncing off him. Remember, John Jones is a Martian. He has all the powers of Superman, plus, he's shape change, telepathy. So John Jones is like the most powerful superhero in the world, except fire. Put him next to fire, he becomes weak as a kitten. And I love, there was a story, Son of Vulcan, a 4-issue miniseries that basically explained everything about Martians and then was promptly forgotten about. I was the only one who liked that. So, and then of course, Green Lantern is over here, the dam bursts. And what is he doing? Using the Green Lantern ray to pick up houses and move houses out of the way. I love the Green Lantern costume. Always hated the Green Lantern. Just the power, the ring is just, I don't know. It's just too powerful and undefined. His Superman, he's not doing anything important. He's just turning into Superman. And then Snapper Carl. Okay, Snapper Carl, he is just a normal teenage kid who talks real groovy like, and he is the helper for the Justice League. And here we got Batman on a rope and Aquaman over here. These kidnappers kidnap this guy, so Aquaman saving that guy while Batman's distracting him. I just do like this, the smoke everything out of the gun. All right, so now we've established that the Justice League are doing fantastic superhero stuff, and now they're all going to meet over here. So what happens now? This ray with them, and they established that they used this blue energy that the Flash drove through was the flash from there, was the backlash, was the power, was the whatever from them transporting through dimensional space. They went through dimensional space, not regular space. They're dimensional travelers that came here, and here's this gun. Whatever they shoot, they go back and forth to Despero's world in another dimension in space. So let's read the. And here they all show up, and now the Justice League are captives of Despero. Yay, the captives of Despero. Yes, he puts the costume on super fast. Flash could vibrate his molecules so he could just fade into his outfit. Yeah, that's one of Flash's powers, is that he could vibrate and like two blades of an egg beater, he could pass his molecules through the molecules of anything else. Just drinking some way too sweet coffee. Yes, Snapper Carl is the kid insert character, because even back then they were pandering to my identity politics. Kids needed somebody to identify with. It's funny because I always hated that. As a kid, I hated the kid sidekick. Like I never liked Robin until really 20, 30 years ago, when they started making Robin just more than just the holy Batman, just like the teen stand-in. And when he started in his own right, becoming his own character, rather than just an accessory to Batman, that's when I started to like Robin. I never liked the teen sidekick. I never liked the monkey sidekick, the funny sidekick. And thank you. Get on my Heroic Tales Substack list. I'm trying to assemble a list of emails to send out messages. Last night I sent out not a message, but a live, chat. I apologize for that. I'm still trying to learn how to do all this Substack stuff. I promise I'm a good writer. I'm just bad with computers. Yeah, old man Snapper Carr annoys the hell out of me. Yeah. I'll try to read some of his dialogue when it pops up. Oh, okay, here. Perfect example, right here. I hear you call it JLA, and I'll be blasting off for the pad like my wheels were on fire. I just hate that. So here we have Despero already. Just look at that face, that smug jerk face. Just want to punch the fins off his face. Allison, what's the temperature like there in Arizona? Oh man, tomorrow's my last day off, and I gotta go to my friend Jen's house and fix her the electricity stopped working in her kitchen. I just pray it's a circuit breaker thing. All right, so don't bother to look at your friends for help. They're all mesmerized. So Despero is explaining that these two people fled Kalanor, and he followed him here. And when he found out that the Justice League were the only people that could thwart him, so he preemptively hypnotized them with some plot armor. So he used his magic plot abilities to hypnotize them, and they're all frozen in a chair. And then somehow he made up chess pieces that look like the Justice League, and he's telling the Flash, "We're gonna play this game. We're gonna play this game, and here's a deck of cards, and you're gonna move the figures to a spot. And if I flip over a card and it's the number of the spot, they're going to disappear forever." So the Flash, rather than punches him, rather than beat the crap out of the villain, rather than just grab him by the throat and strangle him until he gives up his secrets, the Flash decides to play this stupid game with him. So he moves Batman to square 32, and then he flips over a card. Oh no, it's card 32. What are the odds? Well, the odds are 1 out of 64. So Batman is going to get teleported to another dimension. Then he moves Superman to spot 48, flips over a card. It's 48. Oh no, what are the odds? Same with G. So why are you playing? It's rigged. Why are you playing? Such a stupid story. And the only ones left now is Aquaman, who's in a tube with constant water on him so he doesn't die. Wonder Woman's left. He moves the Wonder Woman figure, and what are the odds? She disappears. So he does Aquaman, and then he's just gloating. Okay, so if they all disappear, the Flash has to voluntarily go into this rocket where he'll be teleported. Note the blue energy. Unbeknownst to him, Snapper Carr is watching the whole thing. Man, this three-eyed Big Daddy is a real mothball. You said it. You said it, Snapper Carr. You said it better than me. Now I can continue my search for Jasnar and the Dimensional Travelers without the Justice League to stop me. That's right. Yeah, he doesn't know where Jasnar is. Okay, and he gets into the ship with the Flash. So stupid. How are your shopping manners? This is a public service announcement. This is a way to get the comic, the censorship people off their backs. And let's take a look at the comments. The first respectable teen hero is Tim Drake. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that until recent times. Yes. Marcus Kellergrew says, imagine DC had John Romita and G. Carl drawing only romance comics at this time. I know. I don't want to say it's a waste of talent because romance comics were selling. And that's the nature of the business. Selling books is a business. So in Arizona, it's a high of 64 and sunny here. Move out there. Yeah. When I retire, I don't know. That's one of the places I'm looking at. But Arizona taxes pensions. So I got to move to a state that doesn't tax pensions, which might be Nevada. I wonder if they tried to sell a Justice League chess set. I would have bought it. I know that they have one now. Why is Despero? Despero is making him play, right? Yeah, I know. It's stupid. Why is Despero making him play? Plot, there you go, plot hole. Why didn't he just teleport everybody? Because this is the kind of story that they like telling. Really, it's a plot mechanic. What is this comment? Hell, Stipling Bucky used the Tommy gun in World War. Yeah, he did. He used a 3D printer in 1960 to create chess pieces. Yeah, he did. Why did he play chess? Good question. Because DC editorial wanted him to play chess. It looks cool on the cover to have chess pieces being of the Justice League. Man, I cannot wake up. So this is the world of No Tomorrow. So this is I just finished the whole of my collection of Justice League. I'm reading Justice League as I get them. So I've had like 100 issues of Justice League in my back issue boxes for like 10 years. And now I'm finally reading them. But so I got number 1. I just finished 2 reading. So I read 1 to 10 in the past month. And so far, this is the way the story goes. They just break up into teams. The whole reason you join a team is to unite forces. But in these comics, for no sense whatsoever, the Justice League breaks up. That's just what they do. Justice League breaks up. So Merciful Minerva. So here's Wonder Woman on this planet of dinosaurs. So she's on this dinosaur planet, and she's running around. Wonder Woman all of a sudden can't fight. Well, you know what? Why fight the dinosaurs? They, she's the invader to the world. They're just hungry, so she's got to get out of here. This dinosaur's up here. It's just bad. And she, running her, she grabs onto this dinosaur and she's just catching a ride. Now, Wonder Woman's powers were inconsistent. She could fly, she can't fly. She could do this, she can't do this. She could deflect lightning, she can't deflect lightning. So now, she's using the lariat to fly around. This poor creature, she pulls it and bonks its head, and now she's stuck in the tar pit. What am I going to do? It's already established that she can mentally control her lariat, but now she can't mentally control the lariat because of a plot, So she's panicking. I'm gonna die. She just gives up right here. I'm gonna die. But then here comes Superman. Now, if you were Despero and you could control, why would you put the two? Basically put Superman on a planet with a red sun or something like that. So here comes Superman to her rescue. Okay, I heard they don't tax military. We could discuss. Yeah. Well, I that's what I heard. I heard there's only 8 states in the United States that don't tax pensions, and one of them being Nevada, one of them being Tennessee, one of them being New Hampshire, one of them being Maryland, and I forget the other ones. But so those are the only states that I'm looking at. From 50 to 8. She's worried about changing the past. Well, she's not in the past. She's in another dimension on another planet. That's what Despero. He didn't send her into the past. He sent her into another dimension. So she, and that's plot powers. We conveniently forget about our powers. Like, I'm sure everybody here is, if they read it or if they didn't read it, they're familiar with the when the death of Superman, when Superman fights what's his name, Doomsday. And then Superman just forgets how to use his powers and submits to editorial decree to be killed. Doomsday comes. Why does Superman, who's one of his major powers is, I'd say Superman's main power is his strength. His second power is flight. So Doomsday is coming. Doomsday is just wrecking crap. Fly into Doomsday, grab him by the waist. He's punching you anyway. You're super fast. Fly into space. Disengage, beat him, punch him, until you get him to break contact and just let him drift in space. That's it. That's it. Doomsday is defeated. You know what I mean? Let him rage in space. Marcus Keller Group. The JSA broke up the small teams of gold. Yes, it's something Gardner Fox always did. It's something they always did. Doesn't mean it's, I kind of liked when it they had to break up into smaller teams, and then they would have teams of 2, 3, but this they had no choice other than editorial decree. So Superman picks her up, he spins her around to get the tar off her, and they're like, hey, you look at, so we got to get out of here. So they decide that they got to get up this mountain. I see John Jones and Batman on a different planet on this dimensional solar system. So they're in a dimensional solar system. Remember these silly words. So he, that to me always, like, stuff like this always proves to me that Superman doesn't have X-ray vision. He doesn't have telescopic vision. He has supervision. Is the only way to describe it. So right now he could just look and he could see across planets. So he could see John Jones and Batman. So what are they gonna do? Oh, what's going on? Oh no, there's kryptonite. There's kryptonite. These teams, they just watch this. They always run into their weakness. It's like it's just so convenient. It's the same story over and over again. I know, Gardner Fox, legend or whatever, but it's just childish editorial decree writing, fiat, I guess is the word. So there it is. Is kryptonite up there? Oh no, it didn't affect me until it affected me. And then she climbs up because she could fly, but she can't fly. She could travel on winds. She can't wing. Now she has her lariat, and she picks up the kryptonite and throws it. And now Superman is able to fly. So he tells her, take a deep breath. They're gonna go fly to the other planet. Okay, because of powers. Yes, Zartan. Superman can see whatever the plot demands, but he can't see how bad this story is. Superman in the JLA is way weaker than the one in his own comic. Yes, I always laugh at that, and it's so true. If Superman is in his own comic, he can move planets. If Superman, and it's the same with, like, bad guys. If there's one bad guy, that bad guy could beat up the entire Avengers or the Justice League. If there's 10 bad guys, you could just knock them over. Like, you better watch out, Daredevil. There's one ninja. There's one ninja in your way. You are in for a fight. Oh, Daredevil, there's 200 ninjas. You're going to be able to just go like this and take out a ninja. It's the same thing. It's one of those things about comic books, that we love. Yep. It's the conservation of ninjutsu. Yep. I was just saying it just as you typed it. So here we go to the world of no return. And of course, this is a water planet. Otherwise, what good is Aquaman? I'm just trying to move this around so that it could be on the camera. So they're on a planet that's covered entirely in ocean. But there's a yellow machine over here that's focusing the sun rays and it's boiling the ocean. So this world is on the verge of extinction. Most of these DC comics were plotted out in the editor's office and the cover was drawn first. Yeah, I know. I've said this before, and I thought it would be controversial, and nobody really even said anything. Better not go back there. Yeah. There's I never liked Silver Age DC. I never liked Silver Age DC. Eloise, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for showing up on this New Year's. Thank you. I love when I see new names. Thank you for showing up. 11 people. I remember when it was just Lacey and me talking. So thank you, everybody. And I know, and thank you for putting up with my sleepiness. I'm still trying to drink this coffee that it's some serious gourmet shit, but I put in way too much sugar. Oh my God, it's like drinking candy. So, yes, like Marcus said, these comics were written by Decree. They were written, Garner Fox. I think it's Garner Fox, right? Or Julie Schwartz. I think it was Garner Fox would have the cover drawn up first and then just hand off the covers to other writers to, here, good, justify this cover, and I didn't like it. I didn't like Silver Age DC. This is the reason why. It was goofy. Didn't make sense. It was plot driven. It was terrible. So maybe I will show Fantastic Four #1. It's one of my first videos is my Fantastic Four #1. Maybe I'll do it for Sunday Comics. Maybe that's what I'll do on Sunday Comics, show off the bigger stuff. But you'll see. Yeah, I think I'll do Fantastic Four next one so we can compare and contrast these. But look at this. This is just terrible. So we got this yellow thing. What are the odds? Green Lantern's teleported to a world where so Despero just sends him where he'll flourish, but sends him where he's weak. So there's nothing I could do about it. There's nothing I could do about it. It's yellow. Green Lantern, the only hero in the world who could be defeated by just peeing all over him. Just pee all over Green Lantern, and he's defeated. So Aquaman goes swimming around. And he's like, the temperature of the water is so the water is heating up. The whole world is going to get destroyed by this yellow Deus Ex Machina device. I love this. Green Lantern makes this is pretty cool. He does this and they're flying around. And so what does he do? He makes an iceberg. Now, he makes an iceberg. So this is literally ice. So it's cold. Again, what can Green Lantern do? What can he do? He could do anything. So why not scoop up all of this water in a gigantic hand and then have the water slap this thing silly? You know what I mean? You can't touch yellow, but you can still touch everything else. Go use your Green Lantern ability. You make two big hands, scoop up the mud, and then just have the mud come and crush that. I just get so mad. That's why I don't like Green Lantern. Marvel superheroes were much weaker. They didn't have the weak heroes for this plot, except for Thor sometimes. Yes, absolutely. It's one of the reasons why the Mary Sue character is the Mary Sue character, for those of you who don't know, is like the writer's self-insert, who's perfect. Like Rey is the perfect Rey from Star Wars. She's the perfect Mary Sue. Like she has all the powers. She can do anything. So like they just have to find a way to weaken her. Superman is a Mary Sue. Let's be honest. That's why they invented kryptonite, because there's no suspense. Julia Schwartz. Yes, there's Garner Fox and Julia Schwartz. I respect them. I respect everything they did, but their comics just weren't that good. Although we got Acelia as a story, it's still going through its fun. Okay, so Zach Tan is of the opposite opinion of me. I recognize the importance of this comic. I just don't think it's that good. This is like pandering. I don't know. I think it's a recent Batman vs. Robin where Green Lantern was possessed of being a bad guy. Batman and Superman had to fight him. Yeah. If it's recent, if you mean after 2015, then I have no recollection of it because that's when I stopped. Always broke up the teams on Saturday morning. Yes, the Super Friends. They would break up. That is just it's a DC tradition all the way from the 40s. So I love this. So Green Lantern makes literal ice, green ice, and he's chilling the oceans with green ice to save everything. So now he's like, there's no way to destroy the powering because he can't make contact with anything yellow. My Thunderbolt, my power bolts, they fade away before they get there, nor can I move the sun away, for the sun is a yellow star. He goes, the humane thing to do would be to move the planet away, but that would cause all so Green Lantern could literally move planets. He's choosing not to move the planet because where is he going to put it? So they're sitting there on this iceberg, and what does Aquaman do? He summons all of these octopus things. Green Lantern builds a bridge, and all of the octopus cover this stupid lens. And what do? All the octopus release ink, so this is now black. So now he could touch it, and he puts these pyramids on it that cause it to shift, so the solar ray isn't facing the ocean anymore. Again, change the color of it, or pick up mud. Just go and scoop mud and throw the mud on top of it. Now it's covered in mud, and then you beat the crap out of it. Unmerciful, but what do I know? I'm just a guy who likes to, Lacey Lee says, Batman says to Superman, I miss you when you could deal with this guy with the yellow brick. Yeah. So I forget. So Green Lantern is not affected by yellow. Hey, Green Lantern's weakness is 2 kinds of wood. Yes. The original Green Lantern, Alan Scott, who was my favorite Green Lantern, can be defeated by wood in more ways than one. So now they go back on the water, and this alien civilization, aquatic civilization, is confirming that the water is no longer boiling. So now he makes a Green Lantern jet, and he's flying away. Okay, here's the JLA mailroom. What does Archive say? What I meant was that I'm having on the stream. Oh, okay. This is still fun. Okay, you're having fun on the stream. Okay, thank you. That's really nice. Thank you. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I have a fondness for these. I like these comic books more as an adult because but as a kid, Chuck Dixon always says that you can't fool kids. And as a kid, I hated these kind of comic books. I was like, why'd they do this? This makes no sense. They're doing this to do it. They're doing it because they always did it. Now, to me, that shows, and I know I'm going to catch comic book blasphemy, but this showed to me that Julius Schwartz at Gardner Fox didn't really respect the medium, which is why when Stan Lee came out and did the Fantastic Four, we take it for granted. And now we even look at Stan Lee and be like, what a goofball. Look how silly these stories were. He was writing for children. Stan Lee was revolutionary. I mean, at this time, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure Marcus Kelleher knows more than I do. But most comic books were written for dumb kids. We had the Spirit, but the Spirit wasn't written for kids. The Spirits were written for families, and that was in a Sunday newspaper supplement. So that was Will Eisner, the Spirits. That's why I always say that Will Eisner was always trying to elevate the medium. Stan Lee was trying to elevate the medium. Gardner Fox and Julius Schwartz were just they were the equivalent of just tossing out pixie sticks and candy to people, rather than say I don't know, vegetables, and that's a stupid metaphor. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna drop that metaphor. So now we got the World of No Return. We got Batman and John Jones. I find it interesting that the 2 detective characters, John Jones in his civilian identity is Police Detective John Jones. So now, what's going on over here? And they meet these blue. They're on the planet Narx, and they meet these yellow aliens. And what's going on? Missiles are coming to blow up the planet, and they can't stop it because they got this Dalek-looking thing, like an automated turret that's constantly as you come close to it, it faces you and it'll blow you up as soon as you get there. So we can't disarm the missiles. We can't do anything because this stupid childlike story device that is just not a good story. So now Batman is doing evasive maneuvers, but this laser gun keeps shooting at him. So John Jones uses his Martian breath to blow it, and nothing works. He starts running. and his only he's throwing rocks at it, and it's made out of some stupid metal so what does he do? He spins and he digs underneath it, and he's able to penetrate the thing. Batman is totally useless. I'd like to point that out. Batman did absolutely nothing. So now Batman is learning how to pilot this craft. He's flying to intercept this missile. So he's flying off in space. Batman in space. Batman could dodge lasers. Yes. Yep. Just like a regular bat. Just like a regular bat could dodge lasers. So now Martian Manhunter is just ripping everything apart when this flaming being showed up. My attack. So this is one of the denizens of this dimensional world. Of course, it's a flaming being. The one thing that could stop John Jones. What are the odds? So now, where did that wind? So now a wind comes and starts spinning him around, paralyzing the flame beast. What's going on? Meanwhile, Batman's doing some daring do, knocking this missile out of the way, and it's the Flash. How did you get here? I found myself teleported to the world just in time to see the tower sinking to the ground. So now a little bit of exposition. Superman and Wonder Woman show up. Green Lantern and Aquaman show up. The whole team gets reassembled. It's just a formula at this point. But by chapter 5, each comic is broken up into 5 parts. First part is the setup. The next couple of parts are broken into team adventures, side quests, and now the resolution. It's the same thing. What are the odds? The odds are 1 in 64, just like before. Yeah, you paid attention. If you noticed, also, if you noticed, Silver Age DC, the heroes never threw any punches. It was all thinking and fake science. Oh, you're right. I didn't notice that. They didn't throw punches. So far, nobody threw a punch. You're right. And let me take a sip of coffee. I still don't like Silver Age DC. Silver Age DC is the biggest hole in my collection. The biggest hole in my collection. I don't have much. I think I have one Wonder Woman Silver Age DC. Marvel had fights and action pushing the code. Yeah, there's a reason. I keep saying that. There's a reason why. Yeah, next week I'm going to show Fantastic Four #1. We could compare and contrast if we get the same people. So now Snapper Carr is hiding out in Despero's little TARDIS machine, and note the blue energy. I have to point out the blue energy. So now this gun absorbs energy, so he's fixing up his gun so he could beat Despero. This is the Deus Ex. This is the only thing that could defeat Despero. Not like Marcus said. Not Superman running up and punching Despero in the face will not defeat him. Wonder Woman strangling him with her lariat will not save him. Martian Manhunter using his laser vision and incinerate will not save. Only this machine will save them. It's just the way it works in Silver Age. Look at this face over here. So now Despero shows up where he's working on the machine, and they're fighting. And Despero uses this third eye over here. This is pretty cool. This I do like. This third eye opens up and concentrates on you, and you're hypnotized. You're hypnotized. But is he? So now, what's going on? He got hit by the you can't see. He shot the energy drainer on him, and because he got hit with the energy drainer, these guys can teleport across interdimensional time and space. He's snapping his fingers because he's got Tourette syndrome, and that's his tick, And Despero is just stands there like, okay, I got defeated, and then they crazy. So how did it affect him? Because the blue this ship made a blue energy aura, and it protected Despero because that blue energy is what transported him across the dimensions. And it just so happened that the Flash drove through where Despero was showing up, which made the Flash immune. Isn't that convenient? Despero would have won if not for the fact that the Flash just driving. No, he didn't have to be anywhere. He just was like, I'm the Flash. I'm going to get my car. I'm going to go drive around. And he happened to drive through the blue aura. Such a bad freaking story. So terrible. And here we got send money in advance for cards, and then 15 minutes he'll make you like Joe Weider, and there we go. I always like this ad, the Revolutionary War soldiers, and I'm going to put this into its protective sleeve right away just because I get nervous all the time, and I'm sure everybody can appreciate why. So there we go. This is the Justice League of America. Oh, it's glary because of this protective sleeve. I don't know what else to say. It's a terrible comic. I mean, it's a part of comic book history, so in that regard, it's important. Trying to turn this light off. There we go. But it's just an awful story in the eyes of 2023. Oh, what is it? So the lesson is to drive through blue energy auras. Yes. If comic books are nothing if not educational. You see blue energy auras when you just happen to put on your fedora and your nice dress jacket and you're driving through the countryside. Drive through the blue energy aura. It just might be protecting you from Despero. Great entertainment for a kid. Yes, for a 1960s kid, 9 years old, maybe was hitting the head with a rock, so he's not too intelligent. This would be a wonderful story. Yes, Happy New Year. Thank you, Pete. Happy New Year to you and Maisie, the dog. Allison, you may have inspired me to read some comic books. Yes, if this is the quality of writing that I hope to get in my comic book heroic tales. Now, I'm busted on this because I'm a jerk. What else do you want me to say? But I mean, as a kid, I hope your comic is coming along. Look forward to reading. Yes, Mike. I'll finish my thought and then I'm going to address what Allison just said. So I'm busted on this, mostly for comedy purposes, but this was an important comic. Because of this comic, the legend has it, we have Marvel Comics. Now, supposedly Julius Schwartz or Gardner Fox, I forget which one, I'm sure Marcus knows, was playing golf with Stan Lee. They always have the great rivalry between Marvel and DC, but that's just more marketing. Just like I firmly believe Eric July and Ethan Van Sciver are feuding on Twitter. I think that's just drama farming. Drama farming gets people to look, and that translates into sales. So Eric July famously says, monetize your haters. Now, for those of you, I'm sure Allison and Pete don't know, Eric July has crowdfunding adjacent comic called Isom that he made $3 million on this particular comic. And people are criticizing him, hating. I'm not getting talk about the quality of the comic. So Eric July was on my channel, so I don't want to say anything bad about the comic. Read into that comment the way you will, but people criticize, people going berserk. Now, there are some legitimate criticism that could be leveled against Eric July and the comic Isom, but I'm talking about people who just go on berserkowitz, like I guess jealousy or whatever. So he is saying monetize your haters. So that's what he's doing. He's monetizing his haters. And I think one of the things he and Ethan are doing, Ethan being, I think, the second most successful crowdfunding comic, Ethan Van Sciver with Cyberfrog, and I think they're drumming up feud and profiting off it. Good for them. Now, Julius Schwartz and Stan Lee, they were doing the same thing. They were friends. They're playing golf. So, it was Martin Goodman. Okay, it was Martin Goodman, publisher of Marvel. Martin Goodman was playing golf with Julius Schwartz, right? Or Gardner Fox, not Stan Lee. Martin Goodman is the publisher and owner of Marvel Comics and Stan Lee's uncle. And he was like, yeah, this Justice League is selling like gangbusters. He goes, you got to get yourself a team book at the, so superheroes are big again and you got to get a super team. So Martin Goodman told that to Stan Lee. Stan Lee went and made the Fantastic Four. And the legend has it that he was talking to Joan, his wife. Stan Lee is now talking to Joan. They're laying in bed. And he's like, I want out. I'm done. I'm done with comics. I want out. I want to write my novel. Stan Lee's at this point, he's been doing it for 20 years. He was golfing with the publisher of DC. Yes. And Stan Lee's like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not satisfied. The writing is terrible. So Joan says, all right, so make this comic for your uncle, but do it the way you want to do it. And if it fails, you're going to leave anyway. So he made the Fantastic Four. And you will see the difference in the comics. I will do Fantastic Four #1 next week. And that's it. The Marvel Comics skyrocketed. You'll see the Fantastic Four fumbled for about 10, 12 issues before it hit its stride, but still, issue #1 of the Fantastic Four compared to issue #1 of the Justice League. Now, also keep in mind, this wasn't the first appearance of the Justice League. The first appearance of the Justice League was Brave and Bold, and I'm sure Marcus knows the exact number. I do not have that comic, the Brave and Bold with Starro. I love Starro. Starro is one of my favorite villains. So there you go. Oh, and now Allison asked about this. I'll come back to. Hope your comic is coming along. Looking forward to reading yours. Thank you. My comic, for those of you who don't know, is called Heroic Tales. I have Renzo Rodriguez doing he's doing the penciling and inks, and it's just so good. It's just so good. I'm really, really, really loving what he's doing, and I hired a colorist, and I was just a little dissatisfied with the coloring, and I couldn't articulate why. I couldn't explain why. So I tried with a different colorist, and that colorist was good too, but he was expensive. So I saw another colorist, and I tried out with him, and I loved his colors. So I don't mean to be mean. I had to switch colorists. So took a step backwards. I took a huge step backwards. Yeah, getting the colors, getting the pages recolored. But you only get one chance to make your first issue of a comic book. So so I had to pay, and now I have to repay to get another colorist. But that's besides the point. They debuted in Brave and Bold #28. Thank you. I knew you knew. I knew Marcus. Marcus is my moderator, and I'll talk more about Marcus in my future. Marcus and I's future in a bit. Woo. Okay. So I got a new colorist. So that made me happy. Now, also, I had to get, this is the logo. Renzo says he's not good with logos, and that's a skill in itself. You know what I mean? You don't hire a plumber when you need an electrician, you hire an electrician. So if Marcus told me he wasn't comfortable with the logos, I needed to get another logo guy. These are the things you don't think about. Like, all of a sudden, I'm going to make a comic book. Then you learn on the way of what you need to do. So I got a logo guy. Now, every Friday, I communicate with my guys. So every Friday I go to Renzo. How's it going? I don't want to be a pest. I don't want to be like Renzo's pest. I'm terrified of being that bad boss. So just on Friday, hey, how you doing? And I let them know that, whatever's going on Friday. If I don't hear from you during the week, I just reach out on every Friday. I do that with the colorist, and they've been great. But the logo guy hasn't responded in like 2 months. 2 months, and I'm getting nervous. So finally, I like 2 weeks ago, I said to him, you got to respond. You got to let me know. Is everything okay? No response. So I got another logo guy, and I sent him a message. I said, on Friday, hey, how you doing? I need to hear from you. I need to hear from you. Nothing. So Monday, I sent them a message. Dude, I moved on. And I'm getting another logo guy. So that following Friday, he responds to me. Oh, I'm working on your logo. I said, don't bother. I already moved on. I got a new guy. So he was annoyed. Why didn't you? I said, because you didn't respond for 2 months. For 2 months, I didn't know if you were alive or dead. So I got a new logo guy, and the new logo guy does pre-press. He does logos. He does all the artwork. It's Nick X. Nick might even be in the chat right now. So I'm not mentioning anybody else's names. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Whatever. Move forward. So I had a huge setback in that I switched colorists, and then I found Nick, who will be able to take. He for those of you who don't know who Nick Eck is, he's doing artwork, and he does the covers, and he does the logos for RJ of the Fourth Age. So again, my working strategy is do everything RJ already did a couple of months later. Everybody should have a logo guy. Yes, everybody should. Yes, get a logo. Have a great day. I have to walk the dog. Tuning next week. Okay, good to see you, Allison. Thank you for sure. It's funny because I've known Allison since 3rd grade, and she's never expressed an interest in comic books, so she's being nice. So So I guess moving to Arizona mellowed her out. Hey Pete, did Arizona mellow her out? So that's the story. So I had two huge setbacks, but for every cloud has a silver lining. I met Nick X, and it I'm now more excited than ever. Like, I don't know. Nick and I stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, uh, video talking, and oh man, what he gets it. He gets it. Talented guy. Talented guy. It's not a setback yet because you haven't scheduled it. Yes, well, I have a schedule in my head that I'm not really telling people because then they're going to be like, "Well, you said this," you know what I mean? So I have a schedule in my head, and the schedule is now back on track because I met Nick X. Now, why did I say? Because Marcus, I gave him a 7-page script called Unheroic Tales. So that's going to be the working model of my comic. It's going to be a 22-page superhero story. And then if I hit a stretch goal, meaning if I make enough money, I'll have an 8-page backup of Unheroic Tales. So it'll have like a little villainous story, or maybe some, because I have one story. It's a backup story, but it's not a hero. It's not a villain story. He's actually, a side character who's not a hero or a villain. He's just an important, plot character that I need to explain. So, whatever. So Marcus, we're trying out. I sent him the script. He's working on the first page. We'll test it out. I'll pay him, and then hold off and see if the comic makes money. All right. So there you go. This is wow. I've been talking for an hour. Anybody got anything to say? And it's not like I had a minor setback, but that setback led to, I fell into a catapult, which has launched me ahead of everything. So I'm pretty happy. And of course, Renzo and my colorist, they're it's Christmas and New Year, so they're spending a week with their family. So I don't want to pester them. There's pay involved. That's what I'm hoping. This comic book better make money. I mean, I said this, and it's not a joke. It's 100% true. Number one is coming out. Number one is up to me. Number two is up to you guys. But I will guarantee this. It'll be a good comic book. It'll be a great superhero comic book. I just hope people like it as much as I like it. Renzo is so good. So what else we want? Oh, as I hit the tripod. Anything to say? Been talking for an hour. I know it's New Year's. Pete, Allison, I'm going to Jimmy's house. Gonna go another one of our childhood friends. Did I watch the Justice League animated series? Oh yes, I did. Those Paul Dini, starting with Batman the animated series, then Superman the animated series, and then the Justice League is I always lump that together. The animated series, that is the best comic book cartoon of all time. It is phenomenal. My wife a couple of years ago for Christmas bought me the entire Batman the animated series DVDs. I got to get the Superman. I got to get the Justice League. They are phenomenal. They are the best. Yes. Sazar yes. Closing in on 1,000 sub. Yes. Last I checked, which was last night when I went to bed, I was at 988. So if make up fake accounts and sub, I don't want to I have no illusions. Once I make it to 1,000 subs, what happens is I get monetized. I'll be able to make money off of ad revenue. So you'll get to see annoying advertisements on my YouTube channels. How's that? Yay! And what am I going to make? Pennies? I've been doing this for 3 years. I made $63, and I haven't made it yet because you have to make $100 before you get paid. So in 3 years, I've spent thousands of dollars on comic books to make $63. So I need a financial guy. Pete, you know anybody who does financial advice? Don't make a YouTube channel is my financial advice. I got two $20 super chats, but that usually takes a week to show up. So maybe I made it over $100. Don't tell July about Renzo. I know every time I see Renzo, posted on Twitter, I'm like, get back in the box. Don't let other people know about you. You can't steal my boy, but you know what I mean? Jamie. Oh, hey, Jamie, how you doing? Happy New Year. Live long and prosper. You too, Jamie. Thank you for showing up. I love. Oh, speak of the devil, Nick X is here. Nick, I was talking about you. I don't know if you heard, but I was talking about you. I was talking about our conversation about how you made. I joke, but I was telling my wife. I said you made my mental weight go down from 800 pounds to a normal 200-pound guy. You just talking to you just alleviated some of my existential dread about making a comic book. Whenever I see an ad, I try to be happy for the creators. Oh, thank you. That is a great. You know what's funny is I don't know if you've seen I got to respond to this before I finish. I hope it was all good. It was all good. It was all good. It was all good. I'll put this up here while I'm talking. That's my Substack. I promise I will not spam you. Matter of fact, I haven't sent out anything yet because I don't know how. I have a list of emails and I do not know how to send out updates. So I will talk to friends and find out how to do it. But all it is I'm collecting emails so I could just be like, hey, my comic's launching. So I will not spam you. I promise. I promise. What was I saying? Oh, okay. I want to address this comment. Whenever I see an ad, I try to be happy for the creators. Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't know if you've seen my live chat with my conversation with Tom Vassell. Tom Vassell is the owner and founder of the YouTube channel The Dice Tower, a channel that I'm a big fan of. Big fan. I'm amazed that Tom Vassell came on my channel. If I may make an analogy, Tom Vassell is the Eric July of board games, reviews. So he reviews board games, and he came on my channel. We had a wonderful talk about board games and comic books. And so every time I watch all the Dice Tower. I'm about a week behind because they are so prolific. And thank God they're not making any videos this week or I would never catch up. But I always leave the ads on. Why? Because he's got 8 employees, he's got 7 kids. So, I look at the ads as a necessary way for this guy who I really, really admire, really, really like, is a way for him to keep doing what he's doing. So that, yes, Zetan, thank you for this comment. You pretty much encapsulated the way I think about it. And Angelus Draven, how you doing? Hail all. How are you today? Good to see you. Thank you. Your son loves the Dice Tower. Yeah, I think you commented. You were one of the only people who knew who Tom Vassell was, and that video did pretty good for me. I'm a big fan. My wife and I, for 4 or 5 years, we went to the Dice Tower Con until the COVID canceled it, and then we just haven't. Instead of going to Dice Tower Con, we bought a house, and then the house. When you buy a house, you got to do a lot of work. That took up all of our savings. So now I'm rebuilding for that. So. Looks like I've been talking for an hour. Looks like the comments are winding down. Does anybody, Bueller, anybody want to say anything? I will be signing off. Happy New Year, everybody. Let's have a fun New Year. Tomorrow is my last day off. I go back to work on Tuesday. So, just the world goes back to normality. I guess I won't be able to do so many what you're reading videos because I won't be what you're reading a lot. I have a video coming up at 1:00 today about my monthly visitor, my new comics, and then it's back on to the daily grind. So happy New Year, Abrax. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you, What Geeks Do Network. Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year, and I will see you all next year. All right, bye-bye. I'm going to go.